Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to do a get ready with me. We are going to be doing a look using all 5 of my eyeshadow roulette shades this month, and also just generally trying to use as many of my Shop My Stash makeup basket products as I can. I brought the whole basket over here so we can just have everything all in front of me. But let's see, do I want to start with the eyes? I think I do. So I'm starting with the Ulta Matte Eye Primer in Nude. So here are the shades that we're working with. We've got this kind of mid-tone shimmery brown from Milani. It's this shade Suede Side to Side from the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. Then that next shade is Adorn from Subculture. That shade right there. That light shimmery purple is Prowlin from ColourPop. That grayish purple is the shade Soul from Norvina. And that matte light brown is Wake Up Call from ColourPop. I'm thinking I want to use Prowlin as a topper shade over Soul. I feel like that's my best shot at getting Soul to work well for me. But I do want to start out, I think I'm actually going to pull in another shadow, and it's not really against the rules. At least not in my book. As long as I'm using all 5 of the eyeshadows, I can pull in whatever I want. So I think I'm going to actually start out with Howlin from ColourPop, which is kind of the matte version of that Prowlin color, and start out with that as my transition shade. I'm thinking that might be a good place to start. Alright, then I'm gonna go into Soul. I'm scared. I'm gonna go very lightly, but we're gonna use Prowlin as a topper, so I'm not gonna go too dark with it. I don't want to pack too much on. By the way, if you guys can hear like a hammering sounding kind of noise in the background, that is my neighbor playing hockey in his backyard. He does this constantly, like multiple times a day, all hours of the day. It's pretty annoying, but just one of those things you gotta live with. Trying to be better about just letting things like that slide, not getting frustrated when people are freaking annoying. Just gotta let it go. You know, I'm sure he has his reasons. Maybe he's practicing for a big tournament. Okay, so far I actually don't hate the way that looks. It's actually kind of pretty. It's not as dark and gray looking next to that light purple as it is on its own. So I'm not too mad about this so far. I may reserve these 2 shades for the lower lash line. I don't know, we're just gonna have to keep going. I usually go into these without much of a plan, and then we just kind of figure it out as we go. So I'm gonna start building up Prowlin, the light purple, as a topper over Soul. Ooh, that's pretty. So are you guys excited for fall or what? I know it's so cliche to love fall, but I don't care. There's a reason why it's cliche. It's because fall is the best season of the whole year. Really, October through December are hands down the best months of the year. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but in October you have Halloween. October is kind of like the peak of fall. It's like you start getting your fall candles out. You get to start wearing your comfy, cool weather clothes. And then in November you have Thanksgiving. Then right after Thanksgiving is my birthday. Then you have Christmas and New Year's, and I love the holiday season as is, but just the fact that that's part of the reason why I love fall so much, is because it's kind of like the holiday season is coming and the weather is just beautiful in the fall. Ooh, I am so excited. So let me know if you are feeling that as well, but I honestly just cannot wait. That's pretty. I feel like I didn't really think this through very well though, because I don't know what to do with the other 3 shades. I honestly kind of want to leave it the way it is, but that would be giving up on the challenge. I'm gonna throw a little bit more of Soul in the crease. I really want to try that new pumpkin cold brew from Starbucks. I think I'm gonna try that soon because it sounds really good. I'm not a huge fan of the pumpkin spice latte. I've only had it once. I don't think that it's technically vegan as is. No, I don't think it's vegan. I think something they mix in there has like milk powder or something like that, which is fine because I don't really love it anyway. It's kind of like too sweet and just, I think I would like it if it was a little bit more coffee-y and less like sweet. You know, I think I'm gonna leave the eyes for now. Let's go ahead and do the face and then we can come back to it and see what we think. Honestly, I'm really liking the eye look so far. I know it's not done, but I'm liking where it's going. So I'm gonna start with this e.l.f. Beauty Shield SPF 50 primer. This is, you might have seen me include this in my makeup basket this month. I already have SPF on. I'm not gonna use like the full amount that I would use if I were trying to get like a full SPF 50, but I don't really think I would use this product for that anyway because it is more of like a primer. So I'm just gonna kind of use this as a primer. It has a very smoothing feel to it. It is a little dark though. It's a little dark on my skin tone. As it dries down, it does look a little orange on me. I'm gonna use the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation today since, I don't know, I want to go for kind of a fuller coverage look. Plus, this I think will go well with this e.l.f. primer because this is kind of a mattifying primer, and this does play well with mattifying primers. I'm gonna use my Real Techniques sponge. By the way, this sponge is really new, and it already has a tear in it. I've only washed it once. What the heck? Is that normal for the Real Techniques sponge? I haven't had the Real Techniques sponge in a long time, so I don't remember if that's normal or not. But I kind of miss my beauty blender, to be honest. I don't know. I like the Real Techniques sponge, it's just not my all-time favorite. So I want to start doing YouTube live, like live streams. I posted about this on my community tab and asked for any kind of suggestions you guys had for things that you would want me to discuss in those lives. Never done a YouTube live before. I've done an Instagram live once. I want to start doing those more often too. I just want to start doing more live things. But YouTube is kind of my main platform, and it's my favorite platform. I want to start taking advantage of the YouTube live feature because I think it can be a really cool way to connect with your audience in a little bit more authentic way. Plus, it's an easy way to put up an extra video that I don't even have to edit. So that's another really good thing about it. But in case you missed that post on my community tab, I feel like some people maybe don't see those things. If you're just doing YouTube on your phone and not looking at a desktop or something. Let me know if you have any thoughts on things you would like me to talk about in a YouTube live. Now, I don't know exactly when I would start doing that. It may be a few months, honestly. But eventually I do want to start doing it. I want to start planning for it. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that that's kind of something that I want to have on the horizon. So foundation is on. Honestly, I don't know. I like this foundation. It's just only for certain occasions. It's not like my everyday foundation, but I do like it for filming. And it does look nice over like a mattifying base. I'm gonna do both concealers that I have in my makeup basket. The NYX Dark Circle Concealer and the CoverGirl blah blah blah. Vitalist Healthy Concealer. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna start with the NYX. The CoverGirl one is kind of yellow and the NYX one is kind of peachy, so I'm hoping they'll kind of neutralize each other. The NYX one is a good shade for me. I don't know, if you have this NYX concealer, how do you use it? Do you use it as a corrector or do you use it as a concealer? Because I feel like I thought that it was mostly used as a corrector by most people, but I don't know where I got that idea. I don't know if I was wrong. I want to know your tips for it, because to be honest, I mean, it's not like it's very high coverage. And this is kind of like my skin tone, but just like slightly peachier. But I don't necessarily feel like it's canceling much out. Like you can definitely still see my dark circles showing through. So any tips, any advice? How do you use this? What, do you like it? Do you not like it? I want to know. So now the CoverGirl concealer. This is a very light coverage concealer. Speaking of kind of going back to like trying out YouTube live, I feel like a lot of the videos I do, and I think this is true for a lot of beauty YouTubers and probably even YouTubers not in the beauty community, a lot of the videos I do are recurring videos, like my Project Pan updates, my empties, my monthly makeup basket, my eyeshadow roulette, my 4 weeks 4 lipsticks, which that's coming to a close very soon. Next month will be the last month. But I want to make sure that I keep things fresh, because I feel like that having all those recurring videos each month, that only leaves room for so many new videos, like videos that aren't recurring. I can't think of a better way to explain that. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. HD powder in Soft Luminance for the under eyes, and then I'm gonna use the Jordana Forever Flawless pressed powder for my rest of my face. I wanna use both because they're both in my makeup basket. I don't know why I've been on a powder kick lately. I used to be like, I only need one face powder, and now I don't know what happened. But recently I did a video that was totally outside my comfort zone and was a type of video I'd never done before, which was my clean with me video. And I don't know, I just had this idea because I love watching those videos, and I was like, I should do one myself. I mean, there's no reason not to. I feel like sometimes I take things way too seriously, and I'm like, this is meant to be fun. Like, do things that, just do it because you want to do it. There doesn't have to be like, you know, don't be afraid to like do something different. So I did that, and that was really fun. And I feel like it got a lot of really positive feedback, so I was happy about that. And that's not gonna become like the norm on my channel or anything like that, but I might wanna start incorporating those kinds of videos every now and then, because it was fun. It was fun to film, fun to edit, and I feel like most people liked it. I'm sure some people didn't watch it because they were like, I'm not interested, but that's fine. And I feel like it got decent views considering it was kind of off-brand, if you will. So I was happy with that. So moving on, I'm gonna dust this Jordana Forever Flawless pressed powder all over my face. I have it in, I think this is the lightest shade, light beige. I don't know, I ordered it off their website, but it looks like a good shade match. This smells, I don't like that they added like such a perfumey fragrance. It smells like, just like an old lady kind of smell. I'm gonna dust it all over. But yeah, it's been fun to kind of step outside my comfort zone a little bit. And another type of video I'm hoping to do soon is kind of a day in the life vlog. I feel like I've gotten a lot of requests to do that, and so I'm gonna do it. And I might make it like a bonus video one week in addition to my usual 3 videos, but I'm not sure yet. Either way, I want to do one. I want to just try it and see how it goes. Jordana powder bronzer. It's definitely kind of orangey. I have it in the shade Sunkissed. I guess not even really orangey. It's kind of more red toned, which really isn't a bad thing because it gives you, again, I mean, that's kind of the name of the product, Sunkissed. It gives you a more sun-kissed look than you would get if you were using more of just like a brownish bronzer. That's pretty. I do like that. I feel like I'm really not that picky about bronzer, to be honest. I like the butter bronzer. I just recently finally got it. This one's nice. It definitely does give me kind of a sun-kissed glow, which is kind of nice. So there's that. For blush, I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this Terre loose blush in Rosy. This is in my makeup basket. This is a really pretty blush. I feel like I kind of want to give you guys a little life update. I don't know if it's in my best interest all the time, because I try to be mindful of what I do and don't share, because this is the internet, and I do like to keep a lot of things private. I feel like I share a lot, but I also keep a lot of things private. And I hope you can understand why. But been trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life, to be honest. And one thing that I'm thinking about right now, I'm planning on, this might come as a surprise to some of you, it might not, but I'm planning on moving back to Georgia at some point in within the next year. I'll just go ahead and say that, but possibly sooner. And it's not for any like dramatic reason or anything. Basically this month, September, I will have lived in Seattle for a full year. And I never planned to live here forever. It was never like a long-term thing. There were a few reasons why I moved to Seattle. I get asked this a lot. So my full-time job, I work remotely. I work from home, and that is really, it has a lot of benefits to it, and one of those is that, I mean, I can literally live wherever I want. I mean, I don't think I'd want to live in another country. That probably wouldn't be super doable just with the time zones, but yeah, so I work remotely, and I've had this job for over 2 years now, and I wanted to take advantage of the fact that I literally could just move. I could just up and move if I wanted to, and I kind of was saying to myself, like, how many other times in my life am I gonna be able to have this kind of opportunity, you know? So that was part of the reason why I decided to move. And I chose Seattle specifically for a few reasons. I did move completely by myself, but I did have some friends here, so that certainly made it easier. And also, I'd always really been intrigued by Seattle, and I thought it was such a cool city. I visited last summer before I moved, and I loved it, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it, why not? And I've been living here for about a year so far, and it's been awesome. Honestly, everything I wanted it to be. And I'm kind of feeling now like I'm ready for this chapter to be over. Part of that is because I do have a really good relationship with my parents, and I value that relationship. I know not everyone is lucky enough to have a good relationship with their parents, and that's something that it really does mean a lot to me. So living so far away from my parents does kind of make me sad, because I know like they're only gonna get older, and I want to be able to see them like more than a couple times a year, you know? I want them to be nearby for, you know, exciting life changes and things like that. So that's something that I've been thinking about. That's part of why I do want to move back closer to them eventually. I don't necessarily feel like I need to live in like the same town as them, but I want to live at least like a couple hours drive from them, you know? So Seattle is certainly not a couple hours drive. It's like a 5-hour flight. On top of that, to be honest, it's been pretty hard to make friends here. Like, I'm just gonna be completely real. Yeah, I don't try to like paint a perfect picture of my life on social media. So I do try to be real, and like, it's already hard to make friends as an adult. I think most of us can agree. If you're like out of college, I'm sure it's not hard for everyone, but not only being, you know, in a new city, but also working from home. I don't know, it's been pretty difficult to make friends, and I do have the handful of friends that I had before, you know, moving here. But I miss my close friends from back home, to be honest, and I feel like I really haven't gotten super close with anyone here. It's all just been kind of like, yeah, these are people that I can hang out with. I feel comfortable, like, you know, asking them if they want to hang out, but like, it's not, I just feel like I haven't made a ton of like really close friends, if any, you know? So that's another thing. You know, I could really, you know, put myself out there if I wanted to, but knowing that I want to move back home anyway at some point, I kind of feel like I'm ready for this chapter to be over. I feel like it's been amazing in so many ways, and it's really helped me to feel a lot more confident in myself and a lot more independent. I mean, I've always been I'm just a really independent person. Like, that's just part of who I am, but it's helped me feel a lot more confident in myself, my ability to take care of myself completely on my own. So there's that. I don't want people to be interpreting this as like, oh, she moved to Seattle and then realized it was a huge mistake or something, because that's not it at all. It was like the opposite of a mistake. I feel like it was probably the best thing I could have done at the time. But I also knew that I wasn't going to stay here forever, so. I feel like this has gone in a very cool toned direction, and I don't know what to do with these warm tones. What do I do? I kind of want to go in with the shade Volatile right here. Also cool tone. I know it's not part of my eyeshadow roulette, but just bear with me, okay? Bear with me. I feel like this is going somewhere. Another thing is that I am wanting to kind of go in a different direction with my career, and I don't know exactly what that is yet, so I'm not going to go too into that right now, but I've got a couple of different options that I'm weighing, and like I said, I've had my current job for almost 2.5 years at this point, and I don't want to work from home necessarily forever. I kind of see myself craving some kind of job where I can like really work directly either with people or with animals, really like hands-on more so. So I've thought about grad school, I've thought about not grad school. To be honest, I'm leaning towards not going to grad school, at least not anytime soon, because I don't want to go back to school right now. I really just don't, if I'm being completely honest with myself. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to do that from literally everyone. Okay, not everyone. A lot of people. Most of my friends are either in grad school or already done with grad school, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't know if I want that, you know? I'm gonna take Milani, the Suede Side to Side, which is one of the eyeshadows here. I think I'm gonna tap it on this outer portion. I don't know what I'm doing. This turned into a very chatty get ready with me, and I'm okay with that. My parents both have advanced degrees. My dad has a PhD, my mom has a like specialist degree and a master's. So I always kind of like assumed when I was younger, like, oh, I'm for sure gonna get like at least a master's degree. But now that I'm done with undergrad and been out of undergrad for a little while, I don't have any desire. I don't have anything that I feel like, ooh, yeah, I really want to work towards that kind of degree right now, you know? That might change in a year, it might change in 10 years, 20 years. I just feel like I have so much time right now to do things that I do want to do that I'm just not like rushing to like go into a bunch of debt just so I can have a degree that I feel like I'm supposed to have, if that makes sense. Hopefully somebody can relate to me right now. I'm liking this. Wow, who knew I could actually like a look using Soul from Norvina? I don't know. So we've now used 1, 2, 3 of the 5 colors. I'm thinking I want to do the other 2, Adorn and Wake Up Call, on the lower lash line. I'm thinking that makes sense right now. So anyway, all that is to say, I just feel like I'm going through a lot of just like reflection right now, introspection, trying to figure out what I really want, because it's nobody else's life but my own, you know? I want to live for myself and not what I think others think I'm supposed to do, you know what I mean? Since I know that I do want to move back to Georgia, I feel like I want to kind of get started with that chapter, whatever it is, whether it is, you know, starting some sort of new job or new career. I don't want to start that here because I want to be where I want to be before I start doing what I want to do, if that makes sense. The reason why I'm sharing all this is because I want you guys to know that I'm like a human being, and I'm going through the same things that a lot of you are probably going through. And I don't know, I always find comfort hearing, you know, YouTubers that I really like watching. I love when they talk about things besides makeup because I just want to learn more about them, honestly. I love when YouTubers do Q&As. I love when they do just like chatty videos talking about life, especially from the YouTubers that I really just, you know, YouTubers who I like never miss a video from. Those are the kind of videos I really get excited to see because I'm like, yeah, I want to know more about this person. Like, what are they going through in life? What are they trying to figure out? Because sometimes I think it can almost be hard to relate to like people that you watch online because you're only hearing about makeup and beauty, and like that stuff is all great. I mean, obviously I love all of that stuff because that's why I started my channel, but I do want this to occasionally be about more than that. Gonna use some liquid liner. I'm gonna do the Jordana cat eyeliner in black leather, testing this out for an upcoming Jordana video. I feel really good now that I just shared all of that. I was nervous. I was like, do I even want to talk about this right now? But I actually feel really good having it kind of off my chest almost. Another thing is that, and I don't want this to sound like, oh, you're so naive for not knowing this sooner. Seattle's really, really expensive to live in, and I knew that 100% before even going into it. One of my goals is to have like a space dedicated to filming videos. Like I would absolutely love to have a filming room because in this, I mean, my bedroom isn't tiny, but it is not huge either. And it's very hard to, you know, sleep in this room and also like constantly have all this equipment that I'm like shoving out of the way. It's just, you know, it's a lot of stuff, and I'm not even somebody who owns a lot of stuff. I kind of like to keep things pretty minimal, and it's just frustrating to be honest. And I know that living in Seattle, there's no way I could really afford, at least not on my current budget, to have an extra room for myself. That's another thing I've been thinking about. You know, does living in Seattle support my long-term goals and like the lifestyle that I want to have? Not really. I'm gonna use the Jordana Best Lash Extreme mascara. Ooh, this is way different than this. Hold on. So anyway, I forgot to say what I was doing, but I smudged Wake Up Call on the lower lash line, and then I added a little bit of Adorn. So we've got kind of a cool and warm thing going on. I don't know. Do you like it? I think we're gonna have to put on mascara before we can really decide what we think. It's hard to get used to a new liquid eyeliner when you're used to like one specific one. Like I've been using the NYX Epic Ink, and now I'm switching to this one, and it's just like a totally different feeling. Yeah, I mean, I work for a nonprofit, and I don't, like I said, I'm not planning on working there forever, but you know, I don't exactly make bank, if you know what I mean. I feel like I'm able to live pretty comfortably as long as I, you know, stick to a, you know, solid budget and stuff, but I just don't think that in terms of my long-term goals with my channel and with just, you know, my lifestyle that I want to have, I just don't think living in Seattle is exactly super feasible. And that's okay. Like, at the time that I moved here, those are not things that I was thinking about. So it's okay. Like, it's okay that I changed my mind. It's okay to change your goals. It's okay to, you know, change what you want from time to time. I'm a Sagittarius, okay? Jeez, give me a break. I just recently started getting into astrology a little bit. I've always been kind of like, astrology, come on people, that's not real. And I know it's not real. I know it's, you know, kind of a made up thing. Or is it? But I just the other day figured out what my moon sign and my rising sign are. So my main sign, is that what it is? Earth sign is Sagittarius. And my moon sign is Scorpio. Is that right? And my rising sign is Pisces. So if any of y'all can tell me what that means, let me know. But I used to say, because I used to read the description of a Sagittarius and say, no, that's not me at all. Like, I'm definitely not a Sagittarius. But honestly, the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, that's me. Not everything about it, but, you know, being adventurous, that is kind of part of just who I am. I don't know, I don't want to be like boxed into a certain, I don't want to be a certain type of person. Like, I want to have the freedom to like explore different types of avenues in life. Like, I've never been able to see myself staying in the same career for like 20, 30, 40 years. I just can't see that. Now, one thing I can definitely see myself on YouTube for forever. I don't think YouTube is going anywhere for me. I just love it so much. I always look forward to filming, editing. I love the feeling of posting a video and being able to read your comments right away and just, you know, getting that instant feedback. And I don't know, I feel like it's just such a cool thing, and I feel so lucky to be living in the 21st century where we have, there's a lot of crappy things going on in the world right now, but I am glad that we're living in an age where where we have social media, because I know people talk a lot about the negative effects of social media, but there are a lot of positives to it too. It's all in your perspective. So anyway, lips. What are we gonna put on my lips? I think I'm gonna do a purple, and I wanna do the Profusion lip topper in Cloud 9. These are both in my 4 weeks 4 lipsticks for September. This is the Wet n Wild lipstick in Violet's Kiss. If we don't like it, we can take it off and do something different. I think that adding this lip topper will kind of soften it a little bit. What do we think? Do we like that, or do we want to change to a different color? I think I want to change to a different color. I think it's too warm. This is Wet n Wild Never Nude. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. Because it's kind of a neutral color, and since we have both cool and warm on the eyes, I feel like it makes sense to go neutral on the lips so that we're not like, so that it kind of ties both cool and warm together, if that makes sense. I'm gonna put, am I gonna put a little bit of Wet n Wild or Milani Spice? I think I am, just because I'm really trying to use this up ASAP. It's seriously almost done. Like 2 more uses probably. And then, as if that weren't enough, I want to top it with some NYX Creme Brulee Butter Gloss. Yeah, this is what I wanted. All right, I think we found a winning lip combo. My hair hasn't even been styled, and I'm really not planning on doing anything about that, to be honest. Usually I do, but I think it doesn't look terrible. Let's finish it off with a little Pixie Glow Mist, because why not? We used a lot of things for my makeup basket. I'm actually really proud. That feels good, especially because it was kind of hot in here. I love the Pixie Glow Mist so much. Anyway, that is it for today's Get Ready With Me. Thank you for sticking with me if you made it all the way to the end. You are a trooper. I don't mind the way this look turned out, actually. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised. I was going into it thinking like, well, here we go. But I feel like I might actually be reaching into that soul shade a lot more than I thought this month. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. I think that's about all I had to say. So I will talk to you next time. Bye.